Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I'm showing you all the progress on my Greek island town. It's been a while since we've taken a complete look at the entire island town, and it's definitely starting to feel like a proper town after all this time. So today, I'm taking you for a spin to check out some of the latest additions, like the Fletcher, the Blacksmith, the Apothecary, the Tavern, and much more, as well as discuss some future plans that I have for the island, and of course to ask you, which builds would you still like to see me do in the Astraeos style, mostly of course that will actually fit inside of the town, but any future builds are welcome as well. Now, of course, we're building this on Astraeos using the Astraeos custom cosmetics, but we've also used some other mods in here. We've used the special ship for Astraeos, which is a companion mod. I've used Dino Depot, believe it or not. We've got some dwarven structures here. We got JVH landscaping. We also have a few Roman custom cosmetics in there. We've got castle keeps and forts for some of the decorations, visual storage, Western deco mod, the Castlecraft deco mod, and I'm using Ferry's pathways for all the little paths in between the buildings. I think that covers most of it. As always, if you enjoy seeing these builds, make sure to like the video and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you see some builds that don't have any tutorials yet, let me know if you'd like to see some of those as well. So here we go, we have the island town. Now, of course, some of these buildings have been around for a while. Some of these are brand new addition. The main work recently has been around this new main street that is looking very luscious now. I've added all the plants. We've got all these cool Roman custom cosmetic banners hanging around to really add some life to it. Of course, we got the Astraeos statues as well as some really cool buildings all the way around, the plants and the JVH landscaping to bring a lot of life to it. And I definitely still need to add more and more details, but it's getting somewhere and it's definitely starting to look really cool. So yeah, we have some cool new additions here, like all these cool little shops and all these buildings that are definitely quite nice. We got a big tavern now here as well. Of course, we have the dino pen there in the background, the stables, the villa, the warehouse, you name it. And I've also started some planning for bringing builds over that I did early on Astraeos somewhere else on the map that I kind of want to integrate in this one big build. So yeah, let's go all the way back to the docks of the town and kind of just take a look around and admire everything that we've got going on so far. Quickly, we'll do a little look at the docks and then we'll go into more detail in the main street before going around and checking all the builds as well. So yeah, this is where you would arrive with your lovely ship and then you could take the way right over here. We've got some shrines to welcome you in, but eventually you'll make it all the way to the main street. And here you can see the live starting to greet you. So we've got some cool statues out here, as well as some lovely greenery, awesome banners, and more importantly, the main road. I definitely need to clear out these rocks. I keep forgetting somehow to clear out all these rocks. But yeah, we need to clear them. But we have lovely main streets here with some greenery to bring in life. We got cool angles all the way around of all the different builds. It definitely feels like a proper town is happening here, which is really cool. So one of the latest additions is the Tavern right over here. Some of these builds have been dedicated to my friends from Monarchy, the little neighborhood we had going on. So this, of course, is based on Lance, his tavern that he had there. And of course, this is the temple, the Ars temple that I built, or Lance built, for April Fools, of course. You might have seen that video on Lance's channel. Here is the man of the hour. He's right here himself. But yeah, this is a very sophisticated temple that worships something very important. I decided to paint it white because Lance just kept it kind of basic, but I think white, it looks really cool as well. And yeah, we have a nice little temple here. We've got some pathways as well as a little bit of a garden right in front of it with a nice big statue of the Roman custom cosmetics. And right next door, we have the stables that belong to the little Tavern of Lance as well. So yeah, we have a really nice little stable for two tames, two horses. And then we have a lovely place to sit and have some drinks if you wanted to. Right out here. We can, of course, also walk underneath these. And yeah, we have a nice archway in front of the build to look very homely. We have a very cool tavern. I haven't done the interior of this one yet. I will start doing a bunch of that, but I'm thinking I might do some interior designing on stream to hopefully get some inspiration from your suggestions, but also just kind of show the progress that I usually go through. But let me know if that's something you would like to see. Of course, we had to have a little dodo at the sign as well. I really like using the dermises for like these custom signposts. I think that's a really nice touch to add a little bit of life to it. And then, yeah, as I said, there's no interior yet. So let's close up shop so that we don't notice that too much. And then we have a little well from the CKF mod right in front, which is very, very cool. And then, of course, these cool lion statues welcoming us back to the main road over here. And then we'll take a quick look around again. I really love all these banners, really making it feel alive and like a proper cool main street over here. Kind of sets it apart from the other roads, of course. And then here we have a few more shops. So this one is dedicated to Shadow the Ranger's Fletcher. And then here we go. We have a lovely cool decorations. We got a little archery range out front here, so you can test the wares right away. We got bows aplenty being stocked up, some cool barrels boarded up everywhere as well. There's lots of different barrels with all the different mods and cosmetics I'm using. But yeah, there we go. We have a nice little workshop, and then of course we have a nice little building right next to it as well. Nice and cozy, nothing too big, but I do really like the look of it and the little courtyard it creates with this little archery range here, and especially these CKF dummies and these targets are really, really cool, as well as, of course, just being able to have an extra storage compartment dedicated to bows, and the bow shows up as soon as you start adding them to it, which is really, really cool. And right opposite it, we have a blacksmith. So yeah, we got another little courtyard to work with. We've got a crane. We got lovely decorations all around. We have a dwarven forge here to kind of have a nice forge out here in this little overhang of this little shed that we have out here. We also have just a normal industrial forge and some storage on the inside, not too much. This is actually using the Amisa custom cosmetic for the forge. But yeah, we have some more storage in between and another way to get in and out of that build if you wanted to. And then we got a little building to the side that you could use as your own home. But again, no interior for those yet. But yeah, I do really like the kind of layout of this with having a little like courtyard to work with. You've got little shed. We have a main building that could be like your living quarters. You have a little bit of storage. And of course, you could turn that into your base if you really wanted to. But it is a very nice and cozy design as well to look at. But of course, with these visual storage cranes, you can really get some cool workplaces. And actually, we've also got a forge here with the Roman custom cosmetic, which looks really, really cool. I think, yeah, we got this smithy here as well, which is quite nice too. And then we have another pathway right over here to one of these shrines. I really like the way this one turned out, and especially now that I've painted it white, I feel like it really stands out and feels like a proper little place for worship, or at least of importance, and sets it a little bit apart of the rest of the structures. Also, I've moved over one of my old builds, which was like based on Santorini, which is like a little dome building. I think I did a tutorial for this one if you wanted it. It's quite simple, of course, but yeah, I've just used it to kind of fill in this awkward shape, and I'll probably make some pathways and gardens around it to kind of fill up that area. But yeah, this one I really like the look of, especially with the statue on the top as well as the brazier here in the middle, the pyromane, of course, to power it all. And we have some greenery and nice gardens around it to really kind of make all those colors work and pop. And yeah, it's just a really nice combination. Then on this courtyard, we have another little well got the card for detail, and then we got this little temple-like build, which is the Apothecary, which is dedicated to Squirrel. You can see her custom cosmetic skin for the Jerboa right up there as well. These guys are super cute. And yeah, of course, I had to add one of those in there. So yeah, there's a little garden next to the building. We'll get to that in a little bit. But more importantly, we have, of course, the main little temple here. I haven't done the interior yet. And I also see that I forgot to add anything to that trophy shield. Kind of need to have like a brood mother or something like that up there, but we have a decent amount of space on the inside here. We have the pathway that kind of fills in a little alleyway between these buildings. We've got the side entrance for the shop as well, and then eventually the road will continue over here, back over here all the way, and then lead to the garden here. So yeah, this would be another way to get into the building. We have a lovely garden out here, and then if we come over here, can actually enter the garden. So there's a bunch of plants all the way around, a little beehive here as well, and then we have some more cool plants here, including the little JVH gardening workbench here, as well as the normal JVH landscaping workbench, some barrels, an apiary from CKF, which is really cool to look at too, and then we have the main little house itself with a little fireplace in it, and of course the lovely scroll cosmetic up there. But yeah, I really like this little cozy courtyard that has now formed, as well as the builds. Really been enjoying this style with the Astraeos skins, and I think it's fun having a long-term project that you can come back to every once in a while and, you know, add some new things to it. So those are like the main additions along the main road, the new additions. But of course, we had some builds here already, including the lovely villa here that has a tutorial available as well. So we have the full villa back here, which looks quite cool. I'm quite happy with the way this turned out, with a little courtyard as well. And it's the ending of the main street, which feels really appropriate. Then of course, we have some other buildings here, like a little Astraeos starter house that I made when it became an official DLC. So we got that right over here, and next to it we got a nice little warehouse design that is also quite cool. Really like the way this one turned out. Another tutorial available for that too. Yeah, looking quite nice. And then of course we have the shrines here to welcome you into the docks, as well as this little temple that you could definitely just build with the Astraeos custom cosmetics, but I wanted to really try out the Roman custom cosmetics as well, so that's what I used for this build. Also have a little tutorial for that building too. And yeah, it's just really starting to come together now with all of these different builds. We have a little bit of a town going on. Definitely a few more additions, of course, that I would like to make and that I will be making. Like a big lighthouse somewhere to welcome ships in. We have a little bit more space as well for maybe some bigger builds, or maybe just a few more houses. We'll see what we'll do. A bathhouse would be a really cool addition, I think. Maybe some other suggestions if you have them. We've got some really cool stables out here with their own tutorial available, of course, which yeah, definitely a really cool one. I really love this build in particular. I really like the way that come out. This is where I'm going to build the temple workshop that I did very early on in Astraeos. I think I made a full tutorial for that too. But yeah, I'm gonna make that here so that we have a temple that is a little bit more uphill, which will be a really cool viewing point. But as well, as I said, I want to move some of my other Greek buildings into this town to kind of have them all in the same place. Then we have a lovely area over here, which was meant for my transmitter there. And we have, actually, mostly it was meant for the teleporter that we have right here at the end of the shrine. So yeah, we have a lovely little gardens area over here that we build on stream, which is quite cool. And at the end, I've added the tribe tower, which is quite a cool cosmetic, although there is a little bit of a glitchiness going on now with some random parts becoming visible, which isn't great, as well as the flames not entirely lining up with the main structure. But it's still a lot better than having the normal tribe tower there, because that would not really fit in at all, of course. But yeah, that is kind of what we have for the main town. And of course, off in the distance, we have the dino temple here, the dino breeding hatchery, whatever you want to call it, pen that we've got going on over here. I recently also did a tutorial for this, so we've got some really cool statues going on here, plenty of space of course in the inside, as well as an attic for your flyers right up here too. So yeah, you do definitely have a decent amount of space in here to store your tames, and it's kind of a nice backdrop to have from the town, right? You can still see it. Kind of annoying that the blue roof kind of disappears, but at least you do have that kind of landmark in the background, and there's definitely still some room to add a few more additions to this little town. As I said, I think up until here maximum I'm gonna build buildings, and then we're gonna have maybe some roads out around the place. I don't know how much more we will build. Maybe if we really feel like we could definitely continue, or at some point we'll start a different project, but we'll probably still be a while before we finish all the little projects here. I am having a lot of fun, and I hope you like some of these builds as well. Let me know if you want to see tutorial for the apothecary, the Fletcher, the blacksmith, or the tavern. Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you enjoy seeing these videos and you want to see more, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then I hope to see you around in the next video or live stream. For now, goodbye.